Today we are starting with the angular momentum, your module. In life we have come across various examples. We have seen many examples of angular momentum. Do you remember? Can you name some examples? Examples of angular momentum. You might have seen people dancing, making a round, and when they are swinging fast, to control their speeds, they'll either raise their hands or lower their hands. A person turning around, ballet dancer. So many examples of angular momentum you have seen. Our planets revolving around the sun, and so many other things. Your merry-go-round, a vehicle turning round a curved path. All these we have to take into consideration the angular momentum. When we are describing the motion of a particle, the particle has got either a translation motion or a rotational motion. Translation motion and rotational motion you have studied in your previous classes. To describe the motion of a particle along a straight line, you consider the translation motion. To describe the translation motion, you require the quantities of mass, momentum P, and force acting. If you know these three quantities, mass, momentum, and force acting on a particle, you can describe the translation of a particle. Suppose the object is rotating around a curved path, that is a rotational motion. In the case of rotational motion, similar to mass, you have moment of inertia, and corresponding to momentum, you have angular momentum. P is linear momentum, L is angular momentum. And corresponding to force, you have the torque acting on the object. So this is in the case of rotational motion, corresponding to mass, inertia, moment of inertia. Corresponding to linear momentum, you have angular momentum. And in the place of force, you will be considering torque when you are considering rotational motion. So to describe the rotational motion, let us consider the angular momentum. Angular momentum is designated by the symbol L. L is given by R cross P. R is the position vector of the particle and P is the momentum. Now let us consider this is the position vector of the particle R. A particle at a point. This is the point we are considering. This is the origin, means this is the position vector R. It is acted upon by a linear momentum P. P is the linear momentum acting in this direction. So I am considering the position vector R and linear momentum in the same plane. Both are acting in the same plane. So R cross P will be another vector which is perpendicular to both R and P. Suppose R is in this plane and P is also in this plane. Then angular momentum L will be in a plane perpendicular to both R and P. If R and P is represented in the plane of this board, L will be in a direction perpendicular to this board, either outward or inward, depending upon the rotation, whether it is clockwise or anti-clockwise. That I will be telling right now. So I think you got the concept. Angular momentum L is R cross P. Cross product also you have studied. What is A cross B? A cross B is AB sine theta, where theta is the angle between the two vectors A and B. So correspondingly here you will be having R cross P, which is RP, sine of the angle between R and P. So now we have to describe the sense of rotation, whether this is rotating in a clockwise manner or anti-clockwise manner. A linear momentum is acting on the P is acting on the position vector. So the direction of rotation we have to consider to find out whether angular momentum is in the outward direction or inward direction if R and P are in the same plane. For that there is a sign convention. Direction of L is angular momentum. Direction of angular momentum, for that the sense of rotation we have to consider. This is x-axis, this is y-axis. So let us consider the plane of this board itself, x and y direction. So in the xy plane I have the position vector R, the momentum P acting in this direction, so that it is tending to rotate this particle which is at this point in the anti-clockwise direction. Trying to rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. You can see I have represented by dotted lines the rotation. anti-clockwise direction, this is rotating. Now r cross p is L, angular momentum, which is perpendicular to both r and p. If r and p are in the xy plane, definitely angular momentum L will be in the z plane, right? Just like I have kept this scale. So if I take this as the positive z direction, along this direction I have the angular momentum, because anti-clockwise direction is considered to be positive. This momentum is acting in such a manner that it is rotating in the anti-clockwise, so I get angular momentum Lz along the z direction. Angular momentum L is along the positive z direction. Now let us consider the second case, where this is the position vector of the particle. Momentum P is acting in such a manner that it is trying to rotate it in the clockwise direction. This is rotational motion we are describing, so this is tending to rotate in the clockwise direction. So it is tending to rotate in the clockwise direction. R cross P will be again L, but along the z direction, but it will be inward to the plane of the board. If the x and y is in the plane of the board, Lz will be towards inside. That means negative z direction, it will be pointing. So clockwise rotation means we have to consider angular momentum as negative. So this is the sign convention you are taking. So L will be acting inwards. I think this is clear, the sign convention. So this sign convention will be followed when we are describing the entire angular momentum, torque, etc. So you have to keep this in mind. Now how to calculate angular momentum L in the xy plane? We have described L, we have described P. How to calculate angular momentum? One method is, angular momentum L is, by definition itself we have studied, R cross P. R cross P is Rp sine phi, and it will be in a direction perpendicular to both R and P, because it is cross product. R and P are in the xy plane. So definitely the cross product will be in a direction perpendicular to R and P, which is in the z direction. K cap is the unit vector in the z direction. So this is modulus of R, modulus of P, sine of the angle between R and P into unit vector along z direction. So this is by definition itself. Now let us draw x, y. This is position vector R. I can extend it. This is extension, shows the direction. It is directed outward. Then you have the momentum P acting in this direction. This I have considered as the angle phi between the direction R and P. So the angle between R and P will be, if this is phi, this angle will be 180 minus phi. This angle is 180 minus phi. Now this vector R, I can resolve this as a component which is perpendicular to P. That I have drawn a perpendicular from the origin to the momentum P. So this is R perpendicular. So this is the perpendicular component. It can have a parallel component also. Now, if you look at this triangle, this angle is 180 minus phi. So opposite side will be R perpendicular. Hypotenuse will be R. Opposite side by hypotenuse equal to sine of this angle. So opposite side by hypotenuse equal to sine of 180 minus theta. 180 minus phi is the same as sine phi. So I can rearrange this as R sine phi is equal to R perpendicular. R perpendicular will be equal to this R, I can bring it here, so it becomes R sine phi. So instead of R sine phi, I can write R perpendicular. So I write Lz equal to R perpendicular P. I have written down Lz here instead of L because we are having only one component, that which is along the z direction, because unit vector k is along the z direction. All other components are not there. That is why the angular momentum in this case is L is equal to Lz only. Lx and Ly are 0 in this particular case. So this is one method.